So I was looking online and I saw this gorgeous 66 Mustang Fastback that I just absolutely fell in love with and was ready to mortgage the house for. What was it? It was a GT, A-code, pony interior. It was all white exterior, blue and white interior. Looked fabulous. It had a few engine upgrades, you know, intake manifold. I think it had some headers. I think I've got the pictures I can show you if I can find them. Absolutely fantastic car. Asking $57,000 for it. Called the next day and it was sold. And it was crushed. I was literally ready to mortgage the condo for it, remortgage the condo for it. So then I started looking around at some other cars. Well, what else is there? And I thought, well, if I'm going to blow the budget, what else can I do? And I came across this 66 that was a basic fastback that had been converted to a Shelby lookalike, you know, a GT350. Blue exterior, you know, white stripes, had the usual mods to make it look like a Shelby, the quarter window, some of the trim pieces inside, the tack on the dash mounted up there, tack wasn't working. The fiberglass hood scoop, we molded to the hood, so it was, the inner hood was metal, but they put a piece of fiberglass, you know, bonded to the top of it with the hood scoop on it. So the outer hood was fiberglass and wrapped around, and then some of the fiberglass was delaminating from the metal support from the inner hood. A few other things, you know, the shifter bushings, there's two little springs with caps that go on either side of the shifter lever. You know, those were missing. You know, that helps to center it. What else? It wasn't as, you know, it had been a rebuilt engine. Looked like they had put some pistons in it, but I couldn't tell from the pictures. You know, it had the intake manifold, headers, sounded great, but it didn't quite have the acceleration that I was expecting it to have. I remember from being a kid, you know, you take a 65 Mustang, 66 Mustang, and hop it up a little bit, and those things were pretty quick. And this didn't seem to have that same pop, and it had been geared down a bit, so when I dropped it into second gear, you know, it was already hitting about 2,500 RPM. So it had been geared, and so I would have expected, you know, some pretty good neck snapping acceleration. It wasn't there, and a few other things that it needed. Looked great, you know, from, you know, 20 feet away. It was a fabulous looking car. You get up close, you know, you can see swirl marks in the hood and some, you know, scratches and so on. So, I mean, not major, but the overall body was great. You know, no rust that I could see. Underbody looked fantastic, very clean. Interior had a few things that it needed. You know, the shifter boot, you know, was kind of open, wasn't, you know, bolted down, and so the road noise would come up through the shifter hole. You know, they'd put a emergency flasher switch in the glove box. There was no radio in the car. You know, there were speakers on the doors, and the screws were coming out of the speaker covers. So it had been, you know, kind of, you know, modded up a little bit by somebody that wasn't completely professional, so they didn't quite get everything done. Came way down on the price, but I still thought, you know, I've got to take this car to California, drive it in, you know, a couple of months. This thing needs a lot of work to get it road worthy. And what if there's something with that engine that's causing it to really kind of run like a dog? So, you know, serious engine work. I don't mind a little bit of things. Might have been able to just been out of tune. That needed some work. Looked like it had a big, it had a double pumper Holly on it. Might have been over carbureted. But still, I've over carbureted a small block Ford before and got it to run like a raped ape. So even right out of the box. So I don't think that, you know, at any rate, so there were things about it that made me scared. And I was like, oh man, I just can't see it. So second car I've looked at, driven, and it's just gets scary. So at any rate, the search continues.